It is Monday, and while there's not a lot I can do about that, I can give you the latest news from all the lovely space games I like to cover. And we're going to start in Elite, where we this week got access to a new module called the Cautic Sink. Now, we've known for a while that this module will eventually be added into the game, as it was shown in the synthesis menu right after update 14. While we weren't able to synthesize at the point, so we didn't really know what exactly it was supposed to do, you could kind of guess that it would be a module that would reduce caustic effects, and that is exactly what it does. It helps you get rid of caustics without having to use decontamination limpets or without having to overheat your ship. Quite a useful tool, and it has been branded in the Galnet articles as a necessary tool in order to get access to the Thargoid Maelstrom's core. Now, as far as I know, at the point of this recording, nobody has managed to get into the actual core with it, so I don't think we have all the pieces to the puzzle yet, but this may be a piece that's going to make it easier. Now, it has sparked a bit of controversy, this module, because, well, as any other new module that Frontier adds these days, it is locked behind a substantial grind wall where you have to go and collect a number of materials, and it's not just going to be an unlock, you have to pay the materials for every module you want. It's not a big deal, it's a bunch of engineering materials that a lot of people will likely have around, or that you just go and collect, and then it will be stored automatically. And then you may have to go and pick up some commodity that you can pick up from the commodity market. So go throw money at the problem and you're done. Here, however, it's a little different, as you're going to need caustic tissue sample, and the caustic tissue sample you get from caustic generators, and the caustic generators are only found inside the Thargoid Maelstrom. So you're kind of in this catch-22, where in order to effectively be able to spend time inside the caustic cloud around a Thargoid Maelstrom, you are going to need the caustic sink if you want to stay there for an extended period of time. However, in order to get the caustic sinks, you need to stay there for an extended period of time, as you need to go and farm these caustic tissue samples. They are quite difficult to get your hand on. You need to get close to the generators, you need to scan it with a xenoscanner, and then you need to send a research limpet, and that needs to complete the whole research cycle. And you need to go through that process for every single one. And you're going to need 5 of these tissue samples per module that you're going to collect. So it's quite a bit of work in order to get access to these modules. And to make it even worse, the xenoscan, even with the long range one that has 2 kilometer range, the xenoscan can only be initiated within is it 800 meters or something? Because you can't target lock the caustic generators before you are within, I don't know if there's a kilometer or 800 meters, but it's around that area. You need to be extremely close before you can target it and thereby initiate a scan. You need to stay within that range in order to complete the scan. But if you move closer to it than 500 meters, the caustic generator is going to detonate and blow up in your face and smear caustic goop all over your ship, etching through it, or corroding through the hull extremely quickly. So it is actually quite difficult. There's quite a bit of a challenge in this, and having these caustic sinks is going to be vital in order to make this easier to farm, but again, catch-22. But anyway, they are in the game, and while they're of course not just useful for accessing the Thargoid Maelstrom, I can also see these beginning to slowly make its way into anti-xeno builds, where people are maybe going to be using them to try and get rid of caustic effects. If you fly correctly, you can avoid all caustic damage when you are fighting Thargoid. So maybe they're more of an entry-level module, same as with the xenoscanner. You can absolutely kill Thargoids without using a xenoscanner. It just makes your life a little bit easier. But things are also happening over in Star Citizen. There's actually some very exciting things happening over in Star Citizen. It is very likely that update 3.18 is going to hit the live servers this week. I'm, of course, recording this video Sunday evening. CIG currently have a stress test scheduled for March 6th. That's today. That's the Monday this video goes live. And that has been branded as the final stress test. So there is a real good reason that that the 3.18 patch is going to be put on the live servers today. It may actually already have happened by the time this video goes live. Obviously, I don't know. It's Sunday evening here right now, but there's a good chance that it's going to be this week. Of course, it all depends on the outcome of that final stress test. If it doesn't go as planned, if the servers become horribly unstable, Obviously, they're going to keep 318 on the PTU for a little while longer, keep stabilizing it before it hits the live servers. Last week, we also got the monthly report with a quick summary of what CRG is doing, what are they working on. There's a lot of exciting things in there, a lot of things we've heard about before that is still being worked on. And again, there's a huge amount of information in the monthly report, and I'm not going to go over all of it. I'm just going to dive down into a few topics that I found was interesting. First of all, they're working on NPC navigation, both that they are going to be able to be better at navigating around stations, but they're also going to be able to use trams, and they're going to be able to use elevators. NPCs right now are feeling extremely dead while they are there, and sometimes they may walk around. Hopefully, with this new focus on NPC navigation, we're going to see a lot less NPCs standing around on trains, on chairs on the train stations, and having the NPCs walk into elevators and also take the tram is also going to add a huge amount of life into the game. I have some concerns regarding the elevators, though, as I hope they're not just going to be in a situation where NPCs just going to constantly call elevators here and there and everywhere, so that the players can't get access to elevators, or there's going to be a massive queue because NPCs are just taking up all the elevators. So hopefully, as elevators is such a key point of navigating around Star Citizen, then that's not going to be messing that up too much. Another really cool thing is loadout presets, and that means you're going to be they're working on allowing us to basically make presets of select pieces of undersuit, armor, weapon loadout, all the different ammos and all that different thing, and save that as a preset so that you can just, with a single click, equip all those modules as one. You don't have to sit and find every single module, drag and drop them onto your character if you were to die. While I can see this being super useful, it of course has some limited usability, as it does require you to of course have the module that is in your preset in order for it to work. And as you will know, if you die and you lose your equipment, that is gone, and then you will have to either have duplicates of it, or you have to go back to your body, pick up your equipment, and in that case the preset would be nice. So you just pick up all the loot that you had, click the little go, put everything on, and whoops, there you go, everything's fitted. So it is a really nice quality of life change that I'm definitely looking forward to. But there's also other quality of life changes, and one that I know a lot of you guys have been asking for a very long time, and that is a rework of the system map. Everybody who plays Star Citizen unanimously pretty much says the system map is horrible to navigate, and it is. It hasn't seen any significant changes for years, it feels like, and it definitely is in dire need of some love and attention. And luckily, CRG is giving it that right now, as they are working on giving the whole system map a overhaul, hopefully making it less buggy and easier to use, so it becomes more playable than it is right now. As I think the whole navigation with the system map is one of the big pain points for a lot of people when they are first introduced into the game, because I personally hope that they go with the direction of saying we're going to make the system map not to scale, but of course the system itself is still the correct scale. Downside is it can then be a little bit more difficult to figure out exactly the way, get a feeling for distances between planets. So I don't know. I think it would be easier to navigate if they didn't do it to scale, but just made a simulated overview of the system where the planets are bigger than they were actually be, so they're easier to see and stuff like that. I don't know. Do let me know in the comment section what do you think. How do you think they should revamp the galaxy map? What would your ideal galaxy map look like in Star Citizen? I'm actually quite interested to know that. That might also be a topic I'm going to touch on in this week's live stream. If 318 has hit the live servers by tomorrow when the live stream is, then I'm of course going to be streaming Star Citizen. We're going to jump into 318 on the live servers. We're going to begin building up reputation, get some cash flow in, play around with some of the new stuff. If not, I'm going to jump back into Kerbal Space Program 2. Been having a ton of fun in there lately, and I want to do more Kerbal streams. My plan, if we're jumping into Kerbal, so if there's no 318 for Star Citizen and we are in Kerbal, I want to begin to explore satellite networks, and especially I want to talk about different like tactics for building satellite networks, where we're going to replicate some of the methods that we use in real life. And as always, it's going to be on YouTube and on Twitch, and it's going to be at 8 p.m. GMT. So I hope I'll see you guys there. Thanks a lot for watching, and until next time, I will see you guys in space.